the square nails. And I don't know about you, but I have dug up probably hundreds of thousands of square nails through my years of detecting. And I've dug up a lot less when I've been using the Deus lately. In fact, it was really hard to find this nail in my junk finds. I just went through piles and piles of my junk, and I finally found a nail. I got the Simplex, the 800, and the Deus. I'm gonna test it on a nickel right there, and I'll show you how much these square nails or iron affect your target recovery on, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 inch deep coins or relics or whatnot. And I'll sweep this nail. I'll sweep over this nail on all those detectors and show you what they sound like, and they're going to be different. And I'll sweep over that target there alone and show you what the difference is between these machines. Right? I'll just turn the Simplex on, the 277. I have a few Simplexes, so I don't know what coils I have on them sometimes. So iron right here, right? Iron right there. I'll sweep over that nail. I'll ground bounce. Oops, I just screwed up. 72, ground bounce. I'm getting some falsing on that nail there, right? A lot of falsing. Park 1. This is Park 2. Gain is all the way up, right? See, I'm getting some falsing on that nail. Park 2 falses on nails big time. In the 277 and 278. On the 268 or 267, it doesn't false nearly as bad. Now I'll go to field mode. Now I'll go over that 5 inch deep nickel right there. There's a lot of iron around here anyway to start with. That's field. Park 1, hitting it. Park 2, full gain on all of them, right? Now we'll put that nail right there. I made a little mark right there so it can stay in the same spot, just in case if I knock it loose, all the machines will be hitting it in the same spot, the same conditions. Here's Park 2 here. Like I was showing you before, the Simplex was not falsing on that nail going this way. It was just giving me an iron tone. It was falsing on it this way, right here, right? But it wasn't falsing. It did not sound like that, right? I'll take this nail out over here. See how crisp and clear that nickel sounds? Put that right there. Smash that down. That nickel is still coming through, right? It's not hitting it down the barrel here. That's a tough target. That's from Park 2. It's hitting that nickel right there. You can hear it responding over that target, over that red button. That's how fast of recovery speed and iron separation the Simplex has. You can still hear it come through. I'll put that, this is Park 1 right here, right? I'll put that right back over there. It's hitting it big time, man. 12 kilohertz machine, tearing it up. I'll go into field mode. Look at that. That just surprised me big time. I love the Simplex, man. And I'll show you the Deus, or the Equinox here. Let it start up here. I'll put in Park 2 mode. Right, Park 2 mode. The other modes are not going to hit this target here. I just have done a lot of testing, and I've Been out in the field a lot with this machine. Park 2, it's the only mode that you can get this stuff to hit in iron, right? Banging that nickel out, right? My gain is at 24. My iron bias is at 0. My recovery speed is at 6. See the iron bias right here, right there. Just to show you my settings. No trickery involved here, right? I'll put that, or I'll go over that nail. See? See? It's falsing on the nail. This is what I'm talking about. The Equinox falses on nails super bad, man. It's not going to false on that way. But I'll show you once I get over this target here. Over that nickel. I'm hitting the nail, right? I'm actually hitting a little bit of that nickel there. See, but watch this way, down the barrel. I'll raise my recovery speed up just a little bit here. No, it's already at 6. I don't want to go to 7. I don't want to bore you guys with that stuff. If I go up to 7, it'll just it'll be very difficult to pinpoint that target. Now I'll try the Deus here. And the Deus takes a lot of pushing buttons, I'm telling you. It's taken a lot to learn this Deus, big time. But it just thrives in the iron. When people say that the Deus is the best in the iron, you have no idea how much it is better in the iron. It sets itself apart from any other detector. And I'll show you that right here. But you got to tweak on it. You got to really push a lot of buttons to figure that stuff out. And I think I'm starting to figure it out. I'm starting to figure it out after quite a few hundred hours on the Deus. I'm finally getting comfortable being in the iron and really smacking a lot of targets out. The videos that will be coming out soon of the live dig videos are going to be wild, right? Pretty wild. It's been a struggle learning the Deus because it's such a different machine, and the buttons are hard to push on it, and it's not waterproof, so I have to take a lot of care. So I'll just start out in the deep program, right? Oh, I'm going the wrong way here. Deep program. My ground balance is super important with the Deus. If you do not ground balance this machine correctly, you will struggle the whole time. And I'm always having to ground balance my machine, manual ground balance, because my soil here is so hot. I ground balance at 83. I think it'll run pretty good there. And I'll go over this nail here. This is the stock program, right? The stock program in deep is discriminated at 5.5, and it hits on nails like this. Not good at all, right? I don't want it falsing. I can go up to 30, discriminate up to 30, and it'll still false on that nail right there because it's in 2-tone. 2, 3, 4, and 5-tone do not work in my soil. And it does not work in iron because you just get that high falsing, especially in the 2, 3, 4, and 5 tones. And it's at 14 kilohertz frequency. I'll just go and change a couple things here, right? I'll go up on my discrimination. I'll go up to like 20 something, right? 35, right? The iron's really loud right now. I just haven't. It's still falsing on the iron. It'll smack that nickel out, right? But I'm not going to put that nail next to that nickel because it's going to false on it, right? I'll actually go like this. It wasn't falsing down the barrel. That's just iron up there, right? That nail just falsing up. It's not falsing on the nail. It's just iron tones, right? You know, most machines will false on a nail going this way, not that way. Perpendicular, that's when you start getting some falsing on nails. But I'll show you my preferred settings here. Deep mode, 14 kilohertz. I'll try it at 14 and I'll show you the difference, man. Drop the iron down to 1. Reactivity 2.5. Discrimination, I'll just actually go down to minus 6.4 discrimination, right? So I hear everything in the ground. And I'll hear everything in the ground right now. Right? There's all that iron all around here, right? I'm in the war zone, so. But I can't have it in 2 tones there because it's still in 2 tones. So I'll change that. I'll go down to full tones. Minus 6.4 discrimination. Makes a huge difference. So does the frequency here. I'll go over the snail here. Listen to it. Just nothing but grunts. And this is just in relic dumps or thick iron. I'm not going to be swinging like this, you know. There's a higher conductor down there, right? Go over this iron. Just a bunch of iron, right? The iron volume is a little bit too high for me right here. Actually, it's set at 1, so. But the iron volume on the full tones, it doesn't really matter what iron volume you have. It's full tone, so you're going to get a minus 6.4 tones to, you know, 80 or 99 tones. See how it's the low tone now? Frequency adjust right here. 54 kilohertz. Watch this. It'll stand right out. Stands right out, right? I'm still getting a high tone in there, just a little bit. Now I'll go to pitch program here, right? I'll change my frequency back down to 14 kilohertz, and I'll show you. Man. Iron volume is 1, reactivity 2.5. Actually, I can probably change that, but I'll go up to 10, and I'll show you the discrimination on the nails. Oops, positive 10. It takes a while to push the buttons on the Deus too, right? Because they're so small. I'll show you. It's right here. Right, one iron volume. It's not giving me any tones on that. Right. That nickel's standing right out, right? Now I'll come right over here. See, I can pinpoint it right there. That's at 14 kilohertz. Now I'll show you why I like the high frequencies. Because it can get through this iron, right? There's a huge difference between these machines, and they're a world apart, man. I'm telling you. In the iron, you know, in the clean ground or in the, you know, in the mild soil, it's a lot different. You know, or if there's no iron around, it's a lot different. You know, all these machines pretty much perform about the same depth. But when it comes to iron or highly mineralized soil, they're a lot different. There's a big difference between these machines, and it's frequency. You can adjust the frequency, but the Simplex right there was hitting that nickel, man. It was hitting it. You saw that, and there is no doubt in my mind that the Simplex is one of the best machines I've ever used, and it keeps on amazing me. I did that test yesterday, and it was pretty much the same results. A little bit different with the Equinox. The Equinox performing on a little bit better, but that video didn't turn out. But every test is different, you know, because they're controlled tests, but you know, they're not controlled very well. You know, the conditions change in everywhere you go. Even in my test garden every day. That's why I do a lot of testing in my test garden here, because I just want to know. I want to know. But the Deus is so amazing in the iron. When people say that, you know, there's nothing that compares to it, believe them, man. The videos that are going to be coming out here pretty soon with my Deus are going to just blow your mind. I've been really feeling comfortable with this machine and the iron. I can just hear those targets just pop right out in some really, really iron infested areas. You know, when I first got the Deus, I went into some really iron infested areas, and I struggled quite a bit. You know, I was using the elliptical coil and 74 kilohertz frequency, and you know, it's I did the same test with this test right here on the 74 kilohertz with the elliptical, and it wasn't performing very well. So that 9-inch coil on the Deus, I think performs in the iron a lot better in moderate iron. This is moderate iron, but that test right there, it just shows you how the iron affects your target recovery. If there's iron on the surface, which there usually isn't, like relic dumps or in super trashy areas, there's like nails and pull tabs and foil. You know, the foil thing with the Deus, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But with the Equinox is just deadly in the foil, man. It can separate the foil out from any other target, because it's that good on the low conductive targets. The recovery speed is just perfect on that Deus or on the Equinox at setting 5, the recovery speed. But with the Deus, the recovery speed, if you just adjust it one notch, like 2.5 to 3, it's a big jump, man. There's a big difference. And even the audio response and the frequencies, you know, there's a lot to learn with the Deus. So I struggled a little bit at first with the Deus, but I'm really getting to know what frequency I need to have it in, and what mode to have it in. And all the modes on the Deus are all different, man. They just in different areas at different times. So just a lot of dialing in the metal detector at first when you get to the site, because the sites change every day, and you just have to push a lot of buttons on the Deus, period. But once you get the Deus dialed in, it can perform very, very well in the iron. I've watched a lot of videos on the Deus in the last few years, and I just finally bought one, and now I'm finally realizing, you know, what I've been missing throughout those years. You know, I really wanted a Deus, but it's all about timing. You know, I had just so many detectors, and I still have a lot of detectors, but I want to be going. I'm going to be going back to Simplex here very shortly. Make a bunch of videos with the Simplex, because I have my vacation coming up, and I just want to get some targets out of the ground. You know, I don't want to be pushing buttons. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.